functionality.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, I have given you the access again.
Yeah.
Good. So last class we discussed about SQL and stored procedure transformations. Today we will talk about another important transformation called update strategy. Okay. So update strategy transformation. Before we get into this transformation, we'll see a simple example to understand some other features in our session and all. Okay. Then we'll come back here. So I will take a source, that is my EMP table, and I will take my target, my EMP target. Okay. So I'm doing a one-to-one load from one table to another table here. No transformations, nothing. So why? Because I just want to show you some features. Okay. This is a simple load from one table to another table. So my source is EMP table and my target is my target mass 2020. So if I want to run it, what I'll do, I'll go to my workflow. I'll cross check the connection details and I'll just truncate the target table before loading. I'll start my workflow. Okay now. So what it did, it took the 15 records from my source and loaded to my target. So that is because in my session level, if I go to properties section, we have something called as treat source rows as. Okay. Why all those records, as soon as I linked here, they got inserted? Because here the treat source rows has been set to insert. We have other values like insert, delete, update, data driven. So we can select any of this. By default, when I create a session and all, it will be insert. So this treat source rows has been set to insert. And in my mapping tab, for each targets, we have other properties here. Till now we have seen this truncate table option. Apart from that, we have this insert, update as update, update as insert, update else insert, delete. We'll see what all these things are. Okay. So when I select in my properties section treat source rows as, if I select it as insert, what it will do, whatever the rows which are coming from my source, they will be flagged for insert. That means they will be set to be inserted. Okay, all the incoming rows will be flagged for insert here. If I select the trace rows as insert, if someone is not in Ashwath, yeah, okay. So if I select the tree source rows as insert, all the incoming rows will be flagged for insert. Then that is the first thing we have to set. And for each target, if I have multiple targets in my mapping, those will be listed here. So for each target, we have these properties here, targets attribute. Here I have to select it as insert. By default, these things will be selected: delete, update as update, and insert. Okay, so till now I didn't test these properties, but still why it was inserting is, whenever I create a session, by default it was taking tree source rows as insert, and in the mapping for that particular target, the insert, update as insert, and delete were enabled by default. Okay. So if I remove this delete and update as of now, so if I just want to do a insert, two things to be taken care is in the properties section, treat source rows as should be insert, and in the mapping for the target, this insert should be enabled. If you want to truncate the data before loading, you can use this. With these two conditions, if I run it, the data gets inserted. It took 15 records from source, loaded to the target. If I remove one of the conditions, like treat source rows as instead of insert, I will take as delete as of now. Okay. And in mapping level, I will still keep the insert enabled. Okay. So let's see what happens now. See, it took 15 records from my source and none of the records got loaded to my target. So my target will be empty now. Why? Because I have set the treat source rows as delete. So I am flagging all the incoming rows for delete, not for insert. That's why Informatica, it was not able to insert the records. So in the target level, I told here as insert. So whatever you set here in the properties section, treat source rows as, it is for the source. Whatever the incoming rows are coming, I am setting here either for insert, delete, anything. In the target level, again, for each target, what I have to do, I have to set it here. So I have told insert in my target, but in my source, I had told delete. So they are not matching. So it didn't insert. Now, if I make this as insert, and in my target, if I remove this insert also, then also it won't work. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm treating the source rows as insert, but for the target, what has to be done, I have not set it up. So now if I run this, see again, no records got inserted. So if you want to perform any insert, delete or update operations, first thing you have to flag the incoming rows for that particular thing. Like I have set here treat source rows as insert. Then for in the target also, you have to enable that property. I will select the insert option. Say apply and start the workflow. Then it will insert the records. Okay. Same thing for delete. If I want to delete some already existing records in my target, so what I have to do, I have to select that option as delete, and in my mappings for that specific target, I have to enable this delete option. Though this insert is there, it will not affect me anything because I'm treating the source rows as only delete now. So as soon as I select delete option, I will remove the truncate option now so that it won't truncate the data. $15 records. What happened? Okay, they are still not deleted. That is because if I go and check the session log, see, it throws me an error for deleting. It says target table has no key specified. So where am I? Okay. So in order to delete, so normally what happens if I want to delete a record, what I do, delete from table name where I will give some condition. So here I am just setting the properties that treat the source rows for delete, and in the target you delete the records if they already exist. So if my incoming rows are already existing in the table, then go and delete them. That's what I'm trying. But how can Informatica delete? On what basis? It can delete based on my primary key. So that primary key has to be set. So if you see in my table, in my target table, okay, this is my target table. So there is no primary key here. So that's why. So what I'll do in my Informatica target, this was my target table. There is a key type. I will set it as primary key. So based on employee number, it will check whether the incoming source record is already present in the target. If it's there, then it can delete it. So I have to give some condition based on which it can try to perform a delete operation. So it can perform delete operation based on the primary key column. So since in my target there was no primary key specified, it was not able to decide based on what condition can I go and do a delete. That's why it threw me a error here saying has no keys. The target table has no key specified. Either I can specify the primary key in my target and re-import the target into my Informatica, or I will set it here. Say space, okay. Then I'll refresh. Yeah, it is set now. Properties is delete. Target is also delete. Okay. See, now the records got deleted. So if I go and check my table, no records are there. So why the existing records got deleted? Because the same record, what I did, I took the same source, whatever records were already existing in my target, I am passing the same records in my source and I am saying to delete it if exists. So how it got deleted? If I go to session log and search with the keyword delete, see, it has executed this delete query. This one, delete from the target table name, where based on the employee number. So why employee number? Because I have made that as a primary key. Based on that primary key column, it will check whether the incoming record is already exists in my table. If it exists, it will delete it. Clear? So earlier it was not able to delete because there was no primary key. So it was not able to understand based on what condition I can delete the records if they exist already. That's why it threw me a error. That means it didn't delete any records. Okay. So likewise, I can update the records also. Assume like, first let me insert the records to show you how to update. So I'll just say insert here again, and I will enable the insert here. Okay, insert is there. I will say apply. Okay, start the workflow. So the records got inserted into my table. Okay, now assume like I want to update the records. If the employee already exists and is in my source, if any of his details has been changed, I don't want to insert a fresh data for the same employee. I just want to update. For example, we'll consider like in my target table, Alan, employee 7499, his job is salesman. Okay, we'll try to update his job using the treat source rows as update and all those properties. What I'll do, so in my source, I will update his record, update emp set job equals to, so it is salesman here in my target. Okay, so assume I want to change it back to man. I want to update his job description to manage. Here, employee equals to, so one row updated in my source. So if you see, my source data and my target data are same, except for the first record, employee 7499, where in my target his job is salesman, but he has recently got promoted as a manager. Now I have to update my target for this record. I don't want to insert a new record for him. I just want to update his details. Okay. So now what I can do for the same thing, I will go to my properties. I will select it as update. In my mappings for that particular target, I have three options here for update. Update as update, okay, update as insert, and update else insert. So I can select any one of these three. So if you see, I can't select all the three here. I can select any one of these three. So what is the difference then? Update as update means whatever the treat source records we have flagged as update, they will go for update here. Okay, whatever the source records we have flagged for update, they will be going as update in my target if I select update as update. If I select update as insert, the source records which are flagged for update, they will go as insert. They will not be updated, but they will be inserted. Okay, then update else insert means if the record already exists in my target table, it will be updated. If the record is not there, if it's a fresh new record, then it will be inserted. Existing records will be updated. If it's a new record, it will be inserted. So based on my conditions, I can select any one of it. If you want to insert again, so in my case, so my job has been changed of the employee. Instead of updating, I want to insert a fresh record. Then I can go for update as insert. So that particular record which is coming from the source, which is treated as an update, will be inserted here. If I just want to update, I'll select update as update. Update else insert means if the record already exists, it will be updated. If it is a new record, it will be inserted. Okay, so I'll just select update as update here. I'll say apply, I'll say okay. I'll start the workflow. Guys, remember here I'm not enabled the truncate table option. So it is not deleting the existing data. See, all 15 records from the source taken loaded to target, but they are not inserted. If I go and check the records in my target, they are still 15. They just got updated with the data what we had in source. Okay. Where is it? One second. it didn't get changed, right? 7.4 manager was okay. Thing is, I have not committed it, so all DML statements should be committed so that it will reflect. Okay. Now it is in my source, it is manager. In my target, it is salesman. Let me rerun it. Okay, it is completed. See, in my target, it got changed to manager now. So the record got updated. If there are any changes, how it got updated again based on the employee number. If I go and check the session log, if I check with update query, okay, see, update my target table, all the columns it is updating based on what? See, this is my update query. It is setting all the columns based on employee number. So if there are any changes in the source, those gets updated into my target also. Okay, like this, I can use this treat rows as property, and also at the target level, I can select this. Where is it? Yeah. First thing is in my properties, I will set the treat rows for insert, update, or delete, and in mapping also, I'll select the specific operation. If I select update as insert now, and I'll say okay, update as insert, okay, save and start. So it got inserted. See, now the records didn't get updated, they got inserted now. Okay, why? Because though in my property section I told treat the source rows as update, in my target I told whatever the records or the source records we have treated as flagged as update, insert them. I'm saying update as insert. So whatever records coming from the source we have flagged for update, go for an insert in the target here. That's why it again inserted those new 15 records into my target. In case in my database table, if there was any primary key constraint, then it would have thrown me an error. If I had a primary key on employee number, then I can't insert two records with the same employee number, right? So since right now there is no primary key constraint, it got inserted. Okay, so this is how this is what I wanted to tell you about the treat source rows as property, and in the targets the other properties we have update as update, insert, insert, update as update, update as insert, update else insert, and delete. Okay, if I select update else insert, it, wherever the records are existing, they will go for update. In case if there is a new record, that only that record will go for an insert. Okay, hope it's clear. Any doubts, let me know, guys. So apart from the treat source rows as insert, delete, and update, we have one more property called data driven. So if I select data driven, that means we normally select treat source rows as data driven whenever we use update strategy transformation in our mapping. If you have used update transformation in your update strategy transformation in your mapping, you need to ensure that in your session properties, this treat source rows as attribute should be selected as data driven. When we select it as data driven, then how the source rows to be treated, whether insert, update, or delete, that will be decided based on the logic you have provided in your update strategy. If I select this treat source rows as data driven, what the integration service will understand is, okay, we have used a update strategy transformation in the mapping. So whether I have to treat the source rows as insert, update, or delete, that I have to pick up from the logic of my update strategy. In update strategy, I will tell what I have to do with the source file records, whether I have to insert, update, or delete. That I will decide in my update strategy. Okay, till now I was deciding based on the values I provide here. Treat row source as means insert means it will insert, delete means delete, update means update. But now I can decide it based on update strategy. So why it is important? Because assume like my scenario is, hello, yeah, sorry, assume like my scenario is I'm getting some 100 records from source. Out of those 100 records I have to insert some 10 records, then update some 50 records, delete some 40 records. I have to perform all these three operations. Then I can't do it just with this tree source rows as insert or delete or update. If I say insert, everything will go for insert. If I say delete, everything will go for delete. If I say update, everything will go for update. I can't divide the incoming records to say first set should go for insert, second set should go for delete, and third set should go for update. That I can't do here. That can be achieved using the update strategy transformation. Then I will set this tree also as data driven. So that we'll see now. So that is about coming to the update strategy transformation. Update strategy transformation can mark incoming rows for update, insert, delete, and reject. It will mark the incoming rows either for update, insert, delete, and reject. That is, it changes the row type. If we come back to the our transaction transformation types, we have active and passive, right? So what was the definitions for active? If it changes number of rows, if it changes transaction boundary. Transaction control was the transformation which was changing the transaction boundary. Then the third property, if it changes the row type, it applies to update strategy. Update strategy transformation, it marks the incoming rows for update, insert, delete, and reject. That is why we say it changes the row type. It changes the row type as insert or update or delete or rejected. That's why we call update strategy as an active transformation, because it changes the row type. And this update strategy transformation, hello? Yeah, okay. So I can use this update strategy transformation only if there is a primary key on the target table. Primary key on target table in database level is mandatory, and it is obvious whenever we are working on a real-time project, if there is a table, there will be a primary key. So this is a mandatory requirement, that primary key. So as I showed you just now, then only it will be able to say based on what condition I can update or delete. Based on this primary key column only, it will update or delete. So having a primary key on a target table is mandatory. So we'll see how to use it. So what I'll do is, so now in between this source and my target, I will use the update strategy transformation. It will disconnect in a minute, guys. We will quickly connect again. Okay, update strategy, update source records, I will say something. Okay. So I'll take all the records from my source and load it to my update strategy transformation, and from my update strategy to target. Now, if I open my update strategy, if I go to properties, okay, it will disconnect, guys. I will close it and I'll reopen quickly. Okay, we'll reconnect.